Great Evans Bake Off. Lisa became addicted to the show The Great British Baking Show, so she decided that it made sense for her and I to compete in a baking challenge. We chose tarts because pie crust is anything but simple. We planned for a few weeks and then began the new Great Evans Bake Off contest. This is our story. Lisa knew she had to be up early because she picked a complicated tart to do. Here she is at 8:30, still in bed. I knew I needed one particular tool. For 2 weeks I forgot to buy it, and then I ran in the morning out looking for it. I finally found the pastry cutter. Lisa got everything ready while I was out shopping, in addition to the things that we had already purchased, to make 2 simple tarts. Here we are beginning. Just like in the Great British Baking Show, she and I put on our aprons and began to get ready for work. I didn't wear the apron as soon as this was over, but what the heck, it made her feel good to know that I was starting with one. And making my wife happy is all that matters. And we kiss. It begins! Lisa at the beginning really wanted to be technical and measured, and then realized that her dough was too dry. And that's when she stopped measuring and started adding stuff, like egg yolks. I don't know how she picked egg yolks and not egg whites. And there's my stuff. Lisa was very upset. It didn't occur to her as she was making her pie crust that she had enough crust there for, 5 or 6 pies. This is the pie Lisa's working on, the tart. It's a triple-decker chocolate tart. That's the inside. And what I chose to do was a fruit tart. That's what it should look from the outside. There's Lisa not realizing that for her 9-inch tart, she had enough dough for, 3 separate pies. And here we go. Lisa's took a long time. Hers was in the oven first, but hers had a lot of steps. Whereas mine, well, I pretty much finished in about an hour and a half. Pretty easy, just a simple filling, and then fruit on top. Lisa had 3 different layers, all of which had to be chilled in the middle. So that's layer number 2 going on, the chocolate mousse, which somehow would later disappear. Also, since she had so much extra crust, she made a second pie, just out of the extra crust and extra materials. That chocolate mousse, when you'll see later, we don't know what happened. And this is the final step for Lisa. This is like 3 hours later, where she's doing the ganache. That's my girl. This is the finished product. That's what my tart looked like. A fruit tart with mascarpone filling. It was beautiful. Thing of art. And then, here's everybody sitting around eating we brought our judges in, sitting around eating our tarts. We gave them forks, and there's Lisa realizing that mine's a little chewy, but she enjoyed it. I don't know what she's saying here. I'm not sure you're going to be able to hear it anyways. Basically, she's trying to sound British and trying to talk about my crust and my inner filling. Frankly, the fruit was the star of the show. Now here's Lisa's. It came out really well, but her pie crust was still really thick. And somewhere along the way, her layer of dark chocolate mousse disappeared. And so she went searching for it. You might see just a little bit of it as she folds it back. But she was not all that happy with the results. She had a very thick, almost cookie-like pie crust and a disappearing mousse. It still tasted great, though, all things considered. But if you look, there are people really working hard with their fork to try and get into the pie crust, which never seemed to work.
The crust is too. The dough, I don't like.
Favorite, yeah, the fruit one. Yeah, okay. Say anytime.
Oh, okay. I like Mr. Marty's better
Because why?
the crust was thinner, easier to eat.
We're live.
All right. I believe that the presentation of Marty's was the best,
Right?
but the flavor of Lisa's was delicious.
That's fair.
I thought that Marty could have had a little bit more of the mascarpone.
Get the hell out of my office!
And I love that Lisa's had a lot of that
It did.
filling.
It did. You're right.
That I think that Lisa's had an amazing flavor. I could eat myself sick with that. That was very, very good.
Oh, do you know what?
But I also
started my
like
bag
yours a lot
for-
on a slightly lighter note, not as heavy tasting.
Gotcha.
And your presentation definitely.
Well, because of fruit. I mean, that's too easy.
That's right.
without-
How do you mess up?
Exactly.
They were both wonderful.